And do you think the exercise will just stay consistent? Will we see variations? Or do you think they should change?
I don't know. Somebody else asked me this the other day. I think they've got to stay the same, just because that is what the race is. Do you know?
Known for.
Yeah, it's been, I think, about 7 years now. Even though it's only blown up within the last couple of years. I think it was 2017-18 since it was launched. So, and I think that it's been designed specifically to be the ultimate test of fitness. Do you know? It tests your endurance, your speed, your strength, your agility, all these different things. So I don't know. Maybe they'll do a division, maybe a slightly different division, perhaps.
Yeah.
So there might be break-offs, but I think they will keep the original format as well if they add anything additional to it.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think because London next year is going to have like a whole week of Hyrox.
9 days.
Well, we have 9 days, so
Yeah.
I don't imagine they'll be doing the same race for 9 days, and maybe they'll have some other like activations or events. Maybe
I don't know. Maybe just the demand is that big. I mean, it's bigger in the UK than anywhere else in the world. It's come from Germany. It's all over the world at the moment. Like, it's popping up in India and all remote places. Not that India's that remote; it's huge, but
Yeah.
you get my drift.
Yeah.
But yeah, London's going to be 9 days, and I think it's just at the moment the demand is there so much. And obviously, you've got the solo events, you've got the pro events, you've got the same men's doubles, women's doubles, mixed doubles. You've got the relays now, so there's quite a lot to pack in there. I'm not sure if next March is a major. If so, then you've got the elites, which will have their own races as well, the Elite 15. So, there's a lot to fit in, and as you know, like, the tickets sell out straight away.
Yeah.
The demand is there. So, and it's unbelievable how much it's grown. I think in London about 5 years ago, I think there were 600 competitors, and now it's over 9 days with thousands on each day. It's that big.
They've done really well, especially from a marketing perspective, trying to get gyms on board.
Yeah.
Even having their own coaching certification now, I saw for Hyrox. So yeah, I agree with you. It's just going to get bigger and bigger, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
Be cool to see, like, maybe across one of those bigger weeks where 9 days, maybe they have some other small activations that maybe involve something else, that just to get people into it, do something else at the event as well.
Yeah, I mean, they're bringing in different things at the bigger venues anyway, so I think they will go down that route. But I just love it as a concept for loads of reasons, actually. But just, it's given the everyday man or the everyday gym goer a reason to train. People have been going to the gym for years, but just not necessarily ticking boxes, but having no end goal at the end of it, unless it's to lose weight or to pump up or, and it's really promoting training for fitness rather than, for aesthetics, which I like. And, it's like the marathon. I see it very similar to the marathon, that 90% of people could probably do it, but only, a few will put themselves through the training and the discipline and the dedication to get there. And now they've got adaptive ones as well. So there's people in wheelchairs and obviously, missing limbs and with crutches. So they are really making it accessible to everyone. The age groups go up to 74. And I think you can still do it over 74, but it's in every 5-year age gaps, and the last one's 70 to 74. So they really are making it accessible and open to everyone. And it's got not a bad reputation, but I know a lot of people just see the kind of, gym fit guys with tattoos and tops off, kind of talking about myself, doing it, and kind of, some people are kind of put off thinking that's all it is, but actually that's not what it is. It is open to everyone, and you see every sizes, every, abilities, every ages, every sizes, like I said, doing it. So I think it's really, having a positive impact on fitness, actually.
Definitely. And unlike, say, CrossFit, for example, where there is a bigger barrier to entry, you got to make sure you're mobile, you got to know your gymnastic exercises, you got to make sure that you're just not injured so much. Hyrox, you can get away with all those functional movements. And like you said, to the everyday kind of gym goer, but just wants that little extra challenge without having such a big, high bar set. I think it's really powerful. I mean,
I find CrossFit, the technical aspects of CrossFit are so tough, and I'm not necessarily that technical, but I've always been hybrid and always been fit. And everyone can learn, like you said, everyone can learn to do a sandbag lunge. Everyone can learn to push a sled. Everyone can learn to do a wall ball. If they are the technical elements to all of them. And the more technically efficient you are, the better you'll be.
Hey, just a quick announcement before we return to the podcast. If you're someone who's been feeling a bit stuck lately, maybe you're switching careers, rebuilding your routine, or just trying to get your life together, I get it. That's exactly why I write the Midweek Motivation newsletter, where every week I share real, honest thoughts on training, mindset, and the messy process of figuring life out. especially for guys like us. We're in our 20s and 30s, just trying to get ahead in our careers, fitness, and performance. It's short and it's personal, and it might just give you the push you need during the middle of the week when it's least motivating. You can subscribe using the link in the show notes below, or go to substack.com and search up Midweek Motivation. All right, let's get back to the podcast.
But at the end of the day, it's something that everyone can kind of learn either on themselves or with a personal trainer or through classes, where CrossFit, takes years and years of technical honing, doesn't it, to get really good and to get to be able to compete at that level. Whereas this is more kind of fitness rather than technical. But having said that, what I also love about it is you see people line up that have, the really fit bodies or look like they're going to be really fit, and then they don't necessarily do the best, because it really tests your endurance and your overall fitness rather than just maybe your strength or your, that physical appearance. So again, that's why I like it as well, because you kind of look at people and the ones that you might presume to be really good actually, but aren't really. So you can never really kind of judge it.
Yeah, and I think what's really good about Hyrox is that his allows other new similar events like Athex Games and Hybrid Games to kind of pop up.
Yeah.
And while they may be similar, but it does invite more people into that space. So either to push themselves or find another community. I think that's a really cool thing that we're seeing now in the fitness world. It doesn't have to be running, kilometers and kilometers just to achieve a marathon.
Yeah.
And spending all day training. You can just get your hour of training in at the gym, and then as long as you are finding some areas where you're pushing yourself, and then enter a Hyrox race.
Yeah, 100%. And also another reason, I mean, I'm a little bit obsessed with it at the moment. Obviously, I've deep dived in it, and it's really given me a training purpose and a purpose again. I think for me, because I got to a certain age where I was kind of struggling, my body wasn't necessarily capable of doing what I used to be able to do, or I didn't feel it was. I mean, it is. I've just had to learn to change the way I train. I can't go hard all the time. I need to do more zone 2, do more rest days, do more mobility, which I should have been doing anyway for years, but I haven't. But yeah, it kind of, a couple of years back, I kind of felt that I was going through, not a midlife crisis, but I think men and women, when they get to mid-40s, can have a identity crisis or start reflecting. Obviously, women go through the menopause, which is obviously biological, and there's a lot going on there hormonally. But I think men also go through this point of not necessarily have I peaked, but is life going to be on a decline, or what have I achieved what I want to achieve, or will I still be able to keep achieving, especially on a physical terms? So yeah, I think for me getting into Hyrox, it really gave me a passion back and made me realise that actually this is something I can still keep improving at. This is something that I can still keep challenging myself at. And actually, I'm as fit almost as I've ever been. And I'm certainly progressing more and more. And I think within the last 4 months, I made a commitment to actually really take this kind of seriously and see what am I capable of. And I think I've got to that age where I can't burn the candle at both ends. I can't party, or, I've got to make a commitment. And that means not really socializing as much and dedicating more time to recovery and to sleep and to stretching. But I really want to see what my body and mind is capable of. So it's a brilliant new challenge for me. And because the age groups, obviously you all compete together, but there's age categories. So it's every 5 years. Don't really want to say out loud, feel sick, but I'm in 44 to 49. But then when I get to 50, then I'll move up to 50 to 54 or whatever it is. So you can always test your ability against other people of your age.
Yeah.
And I like that as well, because, it's giving me the opportunity to fight for podiums and chase podiums and keep excelling in something and motivating. Whereas if it was just one whole age group and you compete, no matter how fit you are, when you get older and older, you're not going to be able to keep competing with 29-year-olds or 30-year-olds. And it would be demoralizing to see you kind of just get further and further down the pack. But because the way that they've set it up with the age categories, you're always testing yourself against, people of a similar age group. So I love it. I love that about it. And I love, when you see 74-year-olds getting on that podium and having their own little Olympic moment, or, getting their gold medal at 74, being able to be number one at something and stand on that podium. So that's another reason I love it, because it offers that to people of all ages as well.
I think that's really cool. I think that's going to be me when I'm 75. My first Hyrox podium when I'm 75. Sitting up there. After